if you have employees, you know how difficult it can be to work with them. I mean, seriously, they can be lazy, annoying, and just plain loserly. Hashtag loserly. That's why they invented performance reviews, so that you can fix all the problems that your employees, have and make them more winningly, like you are, at least hopefully, but definitely more winningly, like I am. Hashtag winnerly. All right, so let's do this today. Let's hit it. James, go.
Brad Johnson Show.
I'm turning losers like you into winners like me.
You're about to enter the winning zone.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Brad Johnson Show. Oh man, I'm digging that new intro, James. That is killer. That is amazing.
It's pure gold, honestly. I mean, we didn't need to redo it, but the fact that we did somehow improved on it.
Yeah, just you can hear the sitar. Just if you listen really closely in the background there, as me actually on the sitar, really rocking it. Anyway, I am Brad Johnson, your host, and with me, assistant to the host, whose voice you've already heard, James Kirkland. Welcome to the Brad Johnson Show, where I'm turning losers like you into winners like me. All right, James. Man, I love just the fact that we are into season 3 now and back at this. Yeah, I missed doing the podcast. I missed it a lot.
Oh, I did too. I mean, it is a lot of work, to be honest, but you know, it's a good work. It's beneficial to everyone involved.
Well, definitely, because I'm on the podcast. Yeah, it just felt like there's something missing in my life when I wasn't just, putting my awesome wisdom into this microphone to let it flow through the cable across the internets, over the web of the internet to people's brains.
I think people who listen to this probably felt it even more. Just the lack of value they had in their lives and the lack of purpose and
that's
all that
was
just completely gone.
That's why we published those best of episodes, just to get people through. I mean, there was
just to tide them over.
Yeah, you were telling me a little bit about the inbox and just how flooded it was with people crying and like just having breakdowns because there was no Brad Johnson episode.
It was pretty depressing, honestly. They were desperate. People were trying to actually break into the mansion. The other one, you weren't in the one in San Francisco.
I was traveling.
But yeah, people were desperate. But here we are. We're back to save the day.
We're back, people. I'm back to save the day. That's for sure. And today we're doing something very exciting. It's how to give a winning performance review. Now, like I said, if you are a big business owner, chances are you either have VAs like I do, or you have actual employees. Now, I like to steer away from the employee side of things because that gets messy with taxes and regulations and stuff like that, which is just boring and it just puts me to sleep like crazy. If I need to go to sleep, I just think about having employees. And so anyway, that's why I have VAs, and they do all the work that I need them to do. But, sometimes they're slacking off a little bit and you got to do a performance review.
Yeah, well, and the employee side of things, it's more maintenance. So that's why we only have 3 employees. The VAs are a little bit more freeform. They can kind of be more independent because they're easier to get rid of if they mess up.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about severance packages or anything like that. So, so we are going to actually be showing you firsthand what a winning performance review looks like. So
who exactly is this performance review for?
Oh, obviously you, James. I've been meaning to do this for a while, but I just got so busy. I was keynoting in the Maldives, and then there was that Lamborghini auction that I was doing, and you know how time just gets away from you. But James, don't sweat this, okay? Just think of it as a growth experience.
Okay. Also, like getting taller? Is that what's going to happen?
No. Okay. Let's just go to the sponsor break. It's and then we'll get into the performance review right after this word from our sponsor. All right, James, have a seat. All right, just make yourself comfortable there.
Can I sit on
can you?
Here?
Yeah. Yep. Can you get yourself a coffee or something if you want one? I'm not gonna get that for you.
I'll have a tea.
Go for it. Yeah, go. You can go get it. I'll do a little intro here. So the whole performance review concept, people. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to each business owner in the audience, which I know there's literally hundreds of thousands of you that own businesses, or at least think you own businesses. I don't know if I call what most people have a business, really, to be honest. But for whatever you do have or may not have, you gotta have people doing some work for you, and that's really what entrepreneurship is all about. It's not about you doing all the work; it's about getting people to do the work for you, and that is where performance reviews come in.
We're out of water, so I'll get that later.
Okay, yeah, we should have another case of winning liquefy coming in. So,
we just go through it so fast.
Yeah. Tell me about it. All right, so James. Have a seat. Okay, just make yourself comfortable. Like I said, no sweat. This is just a thing for you to become better than you are.
Right.
Which there's room for improvement. Okay, that's kind of what we're running into here. So yeah, I think we just want to go through how to give a winning performance review, and so I've got some performance review questions that we're going to go over. And James, no pressure. This is just basically determining whether you remain employed and whether I continue to pay you. So not a super big deal.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, you feeling ready for this?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Okay, like I said, no pressure. Like I don't want you to stress out.
Yes.
Because
no stress.
There is a lot riding on this. I'm going to be honest. I don't want you to lull you into a false sense of security here, because your job is on the line. Yes, in a very good way, because it's that motivation, it's that fire, and that's people. Okay, back to you, people. I'm talking to you. Performance reviews are all about putting that fire back in your players. You see them slacking off, it's like, okay, get your butt in gear. Like, let's make this happen.
Yeah, kind of putting the fire under them, and
over top of them too,
everywhere.
Yeah. Fire all around. All right. So, James, first question.
Okay.
What is your biggest achievement in the last year? Let's say the last 2 seasons of the Brad Johnson Show. Because that was when we kind of brought you on to begin with. What would you say is your biggest achievement during that time?
I would say
now, as you're answering this question, just let me remind you that I want your biggest achievement. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. All right. I think my biggest achievement was
really just focus on this, James. I want you to focus on what the biggest achievement.
Sure. Got it.
Okay, go. Just answer the question.
I will. Here it comes.
Okay.
I think getting to host an episode was probably my biggest achievement. Like, just seeing the metrics of that episode just skyrocket, and seeing how, even though you weren't around, I was still able to thrive.
Wrong answer. Okay, that was, oh man, James. Okay, people, just teachable moment here. James, don't freak out. Okay, I'm giving people how to do a performance review, and so I'm showing the right way. Okay. I want to make sure that you're showing the right way as well, because that was the wrong way. Okay, so
let me try again. Probably my biggest achievement was watching you quadruple the podcast subscription and analytic numbers.
Boom, James, you nailed it. That was the answer I was looking for.
Great.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what we're looking for, people, in a performance review. If your employee is tooting their own horn with a question like this, you gotta just smack them down, okay? Because that is not what you want. Okay. Why are they in this business? They're your employee. You're not my employee. I mean, you are my employee. I'm not your employee. Okay. So, all right, that was question number 1. Really good stuff. All right. So next one, number 2 here. This is, what has been your most challenging aspect of work, James, during your time here at the Brad Johnson Show?
I think probably just
the most challenging.
Yeah, you just probably working
here. What
is
the thing that has challenged you the most in working here?
Probably just the fact that I work here, and that I don't work somewhere else.
That doesn't make any sense, James. That's not. I'm just hearing blah blah blah. That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know what you mean by that sentence. That was complete nonsense. Sensical sentence.
Let me try that again.
Try that again.
Probably learning to adapt to having such an incredible boss that I'm constantly feeling inferior. I think that's probably the biggest challenge.
And that's been a big part of why you've been seeing your therapist so much.
Right. But like in a good way.
Yeah, but I feel like that's really pulled away from your performance at the job all this time at the therapist. I think that's might be a bit much. I think we might need to cut back on that. I'll write that down as a note here. Okay. Yeah. All right. So great. All right. Let's see. So that was question number 2. Question number 3 here is James. What would you say is an alternate way to do this job? Your job, as in the job that you do.
Sure.
Which
The one that-
I don't know if you could really call it a job. I feel like a lot of times you approach it more as a hobby because you enjoy it so much.
It's so enjoyable. I think probably the only way I could think of to do it differently would be to hire someone else to do it for me, which I've actually done a few times. You know, when I
James.
needed a day off or whatever.
Wow, I'm blown away. Literally blown away. I was not expecting that level of. Man, I've taught you well. That's all I can say right there.
You have.
That
repeating
yes,
back what you told me.
outsourcing. It's one of the keys to success, and that we're gonna. That's one of the keys actually in the Brad Johnson show course that we're going to be launching here soon.
Exactly.
So stay tuned.
I've been
for
studying
that.
up on it. I've been studying.
Yeah. This is okay. That was good. All right. So wow. All right. So that's the kind of answer you're looking for in a performance review is that type of outside of the box thinking. All right. So James, what resources are helpful to you?
I'd have to say the InstaGym is one of the best resources for me. I never go there. Like, obviously I can't afford it, but just seeing the people that go there and like seeing the photos that people take is so inspirational.
Well, I can see that the inspiration from that. But like resources, when I say resources, I mean, I'm not talking about water and food and things like natural resources like gasoline and things like that.
Like
I'm talking about
unnatural resources.
more. Well, no. So
Like
when I say
plastic?
the resources that are
straws?
helpful to you, like people, what resources are helpful to you in that area?
I don't really think people are helpful as a general rule.
Yeah, but if there was one that was like just super helpful to you and
okay.
everything that he or she, but probably he might have done.
I think probably the Uber Eats driver, super helpful to not have to,
but
to get my own food.
that's just like a day or like once a day or something like that, maybe 4 times
No,
a
it's
day
like
for
3
you.
or 4 times.
But yeah, so like I'm talking about more like a personal person resource that's there like all the time that would be that's really helpful to you.
Oh no, I bought out the Uber driver. Like the Uber Eats driver he works for us. Like I hired him on, so he only delivers for me.
But no. Okay, but I'm talking like a person that you're working with like all the time who's like super helpful to you as a resource. Who
I think
might
add
also
the
be your
photo,
boss,
like the selfie guy,
and in control of whether or not you keep your job. Somebody like that.
Are you talking about you?
Well, yeah, that's a really good answer. I think, I like how you came to that. That's good. All right, so that's question number 4. So that you asked that question. I'm back to the audience here. You asked that question because you want to know what kind of resources you can provide to your employee, and obviously, I am providing the resources that James needs to. Well, I was gonna say succeed, but I think that might be a bit of a strong word. Anyway, providing things for him to do whatever it is he does. Okay, so James, what is the favorite part of your job? The part of your job that is your favorite? The job that would hold the favorite spot in your brain.
The number one place of positioning.
Well, maybe not the number one, but definitely the favorite.
Okay. It's like the top, but not the best. I would say my favorite part of the job is tracking down people to interview. Sometimes they're very hard to get a hold of, but I find that as a really good challenge. So I will hire private investigators, paparazzi. I will even disguise myself as an Uber driver, different things like that, which I think is just really enjoyable to try and track down these really famous and important business people.
Yeah, and as far as the parts of your job that aren't horrible, I'd say this is probably the one that is up there somewhere. And yeah, so I think that your passion for it kind of shows through, which is encouraging. Let's keep working on it. I think we could definitely up the quality of guests, and we've already done that in season 3. I think with Wind Hofstetter, that the last episode. If you guys haven't listened to that, go back and listen to that. That was wow. That guy, wow.
Yeah, I actually had to get a ghillie suit and hide in a field for a couple of hours until he stumbled across me while he was duck hunting in order to land that interview. So that one has a pretty good story behind it.
Nice, very nice. All right, so number 6. This question: how can we help you with your job? No, we'll skip that one. Okay. So James, how can fun add to the work?
Okay.
And
I don't like having fun at work.
Well, I mean, I kind of pride myself on the Brad Johnson show having that startup vibe, and I think that's something that anyone who knows me and how I operate.
Well, I was just gonna say I've never had fun at work, so I'm not sure how you could add to something that's not there.
James, I've never told you that you can't use the pool table and the ping pong table and the pinball table and the shuffleboard table. I mean, all those tables are there. Like, I don't know, they're there for you to add fun to the work. Okay,
but I mean, I have to stay in my office though. Like, I'm not allowed to leave. So
yeah, but you have a window.
That's true.
To see the people having fun and seeing people having fun. I think you kind of have to be a bit of a Scrooge if you don't think that seeing people have fun is fun.
That's true. Yeah. So maybe don't close all the blinds and turn the lights off. Like, maybe open the blinds once in a while and watch somebody
leave
play.
The lights off. That saves on electricity. Okay, so next question here, James. What are your strengths in this job? Now, I know this is going to be a really hard question for you to answer, but I want you to think about it really carefully.
I was actually going to say this one's a pretty easy one for me.
Don't answer too fast, because I think this might be a really difficult question for you.
Okay. How can I make it harder? Wow, this is hard. It's harder than it was when I started. Yeah.
That's what I thought, James.
I think my strengths in this job have been just becoming the best assistant host ever, really. That's been a strength of mine. Like, I didn't used to be one, and now I am.
You're not, though, because you're the assistant to the host, and that's we've gone over this.
That's agree to disagree on that.
Let's agree to agree on it, actually.
Yeah. So I think another thing is. Was I only supposed to have one strength?
Yeah, I think that pretty much maxes it out. I think that's all the room we have in that question, really. Okay. Oh, man, this is exhausting. This is hard work going through this performance review.
I love this. This is very empowering.
Well, so okay. This is a question that I think might be a little bit easier than the last one. What do you find amazing about the Brad Johnson show and the Brad Johnson company as a Brad BGS Enterprises and all that sort of thing? What do you find is the best thing about that, or your favorite thing, or the biggest strength, or maybe all of the above?
Sure.
But the second one first.
I forgot what the second one was, but obviously the obvious answer is the soundtrack. I think the soundtrack is probably one of the best parts of the show.
With that sitar backing.
Well,
yeah.
I'll come back to that. I guess the fact that you and I are like such a power duo in this show is probably my favorite part. Like, just how we just play off of each other, and like our hosting ability, it just unites, and it's just so powerful.
Okay. All right. Well, I've got a nice several pages of notes here on my iPad.
Well, James, I was taking notes too. Was I supposed to be evaluating you at the same time? Is that
taking notes? That was not.
I was evaluating you too while you were asking.
I'm reviewing your
questions.
performance. It's the performance review for me to review your performance. So
do I play the piano piece now? Is that Is that part of the performance review, or was that later?
No, no, James. We decided not to use the piano piece for the new intro, so
Oh,
that's.
I
We
thought we were
didn't.
going to go classical, like
No,
make it more
I
of an
sent you a
elegant.
memo. That was not what we're doing. Anyway, so okay. Yeah, performance review completed. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how you give a winning performance review. You can see just my nice, gentle guiding through the process, that I wasn't overbearing or domineering or anything like that. I was just giving James enough rope to rappel off the skyscraper of winningness down to where he could find his place on the right level and floor of the building that we're on.
Very well
So
put.
that's yeah, that's how you give a winning performance review, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you learned something. I know you did. I think you learned something probably about James too. Probably more than you wanted to learn necessarily. But
Yeah, well, and that's how you receive a winning performance review.
Well, we'll come back to that, James. Thanks so much for listening, people. Yeah, tell me about your best performance review. If you have a performance review story that you want to share, we're on all the social mediums, all over the place, like crazy, at Brad Johnson Show. Check us out, and remember, stay tuned for the Brad Johnson Show course. That is going to be a video course, which is going to blow your mind and everything else in your body. So stay tuned for that. Remember, the link to the website is down below, and on the website is a place that says course. You click that and you can sign up to be the first one notified when the course launches. So stay tuned for that. Thanks, guys, for listening. James and I are going to we'll carry on with this discussion a little bit, and we'll talk to you next time. Ciao.
You've just listened to an episode of Awesomeness. Now, go out and spread the awesomeness and help others fix the mess that is their life and help them stop being a loser and start winning in business, health, and their personal life by getting them to listen to The Brad Johnson Show. Book your face, tweet your tweets, and Insta your grams at Brad Johnson Show. The Brad Johnson Show. Winners only.